Hey, it's JC and welcome to Small Brick City. In this video, I'll show you my modifications to LEGO set 31051 Lighthouse Point. This is a creator 3-in-1 set and you can make several variations of a lighthouse. Annie has always wanted a lighthouse for Small Brick City, but we never had space. Until recently, when I reconfigured the city and made our beach and waterfront bigger. This opened up a corner in my brick beach, which I felt was a perfect place for a lighthouse. I did have to make some modifications to fit my environment, and the biggest modification was to create a hill or a small mountain which the lighthouse would sit atop on. The reason for this elevation was to make it look more interesting, but also for visibility within the context of my city. I'll show you how it looks like in my city in just a while, but first let's have a look at my modifications. I used the main house and the lighthouse tower stacked on top of it as my lighthouse. I did have to remove the additional builds that are attached with Technic pins to the side of the house, but I did retain one part of it and built it into the top of my mountain. I will do an overview of the little house and lighthouse tower in just a while. Let's first have a look at the rock and mountain formation. This little mountain and side ridge are all brick built onto a blue base plate. I have not detailed or textured the base plate just yet, but I'm sure I'll do so by the end of the video. The exterior rockwork is created using different sizes of sloped bricks, and I used 3 colors, mainly dark grey, light grey, and a dark green tan. The different colored bricks represent rock that is exposed to water or different elements. For example, the dark green tan wedges represent moss covering the top of the rocks. I've added some greenery that is often seen on rock walls, and this breaks up the monotony of the dark grey slopes. The front facade of this mountain looks quite nice, but as you can see from the back, it's just a bunch of bricks. As you can see, I did use some molded rock pieces as well, and this saves a lot of time and individual bricks. Let's have a look at the top of the mountain. For the top surface of the mountain, I used green plate to represent grass, and this comprises of a space of 12 by 12 studs. I recreated some of the small builds such as the campfire and the bench on several grey sloped pieces. I added brown tiles as wood plank, and in the context of my display, you have to imagine there's more road behind the lighthouse, which is where this wood plank leads to. Here's a look at the actual little house and lighthouse on top of it. This is basically one of the configurations from the original build, but I did have to make some minor modifications. The first thing was to change some of the bricks on top of the roof to accommodate the lighthouse tower. The reason I had to do this was because I changed this to a modular style building. The original was a dollhouse style hinging building. So I removed the modified hinge bricks, built everything solid, and made the roof detachable with jumper plates and tiles. This is to keep it consistent with all the rest of the buildings in my city. I did not change any of the interior details of the house as I think it's adequate for now. Let's have a look at the lighthouse set in my city. If you watched my most recent LEGO City update, you had seen the massive changes in my city. In that video, I shared how I placed Destiny's Bounty behind the Ninjago City and Ninjago City docks, and that left just enough space in the back corner for the lighthouse. Here's a better look at the placement of the lighthouse with Destiny's Bounty removed. I think the lighthouse feels pretty lonely in that corner. But then again, that's quite an accurate depiction of a lighthouse, especially one on a mountain at the edge of the coastline. In the context of my display, we have to imagine that the left side of the lighthouse faces the open sea, so it's technically placed in a feasible location. What I really like about the lighthouse is that it can be viewed from one of the scenic locations in my LEGO city, and that is Brick Point. Brick Point is a tourist attraction because it can give minifigs a panoramic view of the beach and the Asian town. Here's a look at the beautiful view that minifigs get at Brick Point. You can see the lighthouse in a distance on the right. I think that's a nice little bonus and adds to the landscape view. Before we end the video, let's have a look at the lighthouse and the base plate once again. I think I've managed to add in some detailing for the water so you can get an idea what the finished product might look like. I used a variety of different plates including white, a couple of different shades of blue, transparent plates, trans blue tiles, and transparent wedges to create the illusion and effect that waves are hitting the base of the mountain. The gradual blend of the colors and the transparent plates play an important role in creating the right effect. I will be replicating this water effect for the rest of the blue base plates, but will have a different technique for blending the water to the Ninjago docks and city. I hope you enjoyed this video on how I modified the Lighthouse Point to fit my LEGO city. If you have any thoughts or improvements, please leave a comment and I'll be sure to respond. Give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel while you're at it. And before you leave, check out these two videos that you might have missed. Talk to you soon.